Greetings, my name is Dr. David Bray. I'm the Inaugural Director for the Atlantic Council's GeoTech Center, as well as the Executive Director for the Commission on the Geopolitical Impacts of New Technologies and Data. Here at the Atlantic Council, we are focusing on how data and technologies are changing the world, how we live, how nation states operate, and how communities work together. At the same time, we're recognizing that the different tensions between nations, as well as opportunities to collaborate, are reshaping how technology and data are used, how they influence us, and how they shape our lives. I'm excited to talk to you today and highlight an effort by the U.S. Department of State called the U.S. Africa Tech Challenge. Specifically, the U.S. Department of State's Global Engagement Center was created by Congress in 2017. Its focus to be the front lines for the U.S. government's fight against propaganda and disinformation against foreign actors. It's recognizing that, again, the very technologies that allow us to communicate and relate to each other online can and will be possibly influenced by other nations, as well as things internally as well. And it's recognizing that we need to think about how we actually address these challenges of misinformation, disinformation. Prior to joining the Atlantic Council to actually launch the new GeoTech Center, I spent about 3 years with the People-Centered Internet Coalition as Executive Director, working alongside Vince Cerf, who was chair at the time, for the People-Centered Internet, thinking about how we can embrace these more people-centered approaches to the internet. If you remember back in the 2000 period, there was the hope that the internet could actually bring us together, help us achieve greater understanding. This was the vision of both the early 90s as well as the 2000 period, and lead to greater understanding. Now, fast forward several years since then, and it's recognizing that we as a world have to recognize that while these very same technologies can lead to greater understanding and greater connectivity and understanding across borders, they can also unfortunately polarize us, lead to division, lead to misinformation, and lead to the challenges of information out of context that creates confusion or creates things that, quite frankly, just didn't happen. And so these are the challenges that we face, and it's an honor to be thinking about how the U.S. Africa Tech Challenge that is being announced by the U.S. Department of State and the Global Engagement Center can help tackle this. Specifically with the Global Engagement Center, it's a recognition that with the Africa Tech Challenge, we need to start thinking about how we can engage others to address these issues. This challenge will be identifying relevant technologies that can be developed and implemented locally to address these challenges of misinformation and disinformation that are part of the Global Engagement Center's mission. To me, with the Atlantic Council, this is exciting to hear because, again, we're stronger together with allies. We have to work together in this increasingly connected world, again, where the very same technologies can create challenges, but also create opportunities for collaborations. It's worth thinking about that in 2 years or less, 2022, there are some estimates that there's going to be upwards of 80 billion network devices on the planet, relative to only about 7.8 billion human beings. So at least 10 network devices for every human being. That is dramatic change. And that's just the conservative estimates about how the world's going to change. Another dimension, there's estimated that there might be upwards of 120 zettabytes. That's 120 billion terabytes of data on the face of the planet, which, to put that in context, is more than twice all the conversations we've had as a species. This is going to be a case where we will be drowning in data, and as we try to make sense of that data, possibly drowning in information, and things out of context, things that are misinformation, things that just aren't true, will create challenges for how we're going to work together. This is an issue that's not just tied to any one country. We're all in it together, and that's why I'm excited to see the U.S. Africa Tech Challenge being announced by the Department of State as an intentional effort to work across allies, to be stronger together, and to move forward. With that, I want to highlight again and give thanks for the Department of State for making this effort and are interested in seeing what we can do with the Atlantic Council as a nonpartisan nonprofit to help make this happen. Onwards and upwards together in our changing world.